Hi everyone and welcome again. So we continue with our series of lessons about elements of fiction, and today in this lesson we will try to tackle another element through answering the question who. Of course, as you know, who refers to characters. So this is the second element of fiction we'll study today. However, concerning characters, also critics may use another similar term, which is characterization. Characterization. Now, what do we mean, or what is the difference between characters and characterization? In fact, characterization is related to characters. Alright. It is the way how characters are presented or revealed, clear, or introduced, in the story. In the story. There are many ways that writers or narrators, use to introduce and present these characters. Alright, so these ways are called, or modes are called characterization. So, we can have that direct depiction of characters. It's the first way how characters are presented in a story. Direct presentation of characters, like what we have in the novels of Charles Dickens, for example. Alright, I was born in this and in that and so on, clear, on that night and so on. We have also another way of presenting characters, which is through exposing, or mentioning, or those actions of the character himself. We learn about the character through his actions, either his speech or his behavior. This second way, either his speech or his behavior. So the characters, actions also are another way of characterization. Also another third, way of or mode of characterization is that when the other characters, speak about him, inform us about him. Alright, so we learn about characters in a story through what the other characters say about him. So all these are different ways which represent, characterization, or represent how characters are revealed, and presented in a piece of fiction or in a story, in a story. On the other hand, we have the way, or the other term, which is characters. Now these, as you know, they represent those usually persons, or if you can say acting elements. Most of the time they are persons, and sometimes they are also non-persons. For example, we have animals sometimes, like what we have in Animal Farm, of George Orwell, right? And also what we have in The Jungle, or the Book of the Jungle, right? Mowgli and the other animals, which are also participant characters in that story. So characters usually also refers to those personalities in a story, clear. But also it has another meaning, which is the characteristics and the traits, that these personalities have, the characteristics or the traits that these personalities, or that these characters have, have. So this is simply a brief introduction about the difference between characters, the second element of fiction. We need to focus on whenever we want to analyze and study any story critically, taking of course into account how these characters are presented. I mean the mode of characterization, the mode of characterization, characterization, and its different ways, clear. So here, for example, it refers to persons alright, are also the traits of these characters. Here the ways, right, how characters are presented. We say either through the direct depiction of the narrator or through their actions, speech or behavior, or also through what the other characters say about them. Now we can summarize from, okay, all these types within characterization, two ways or two modes of characterization. The first one is called, right here, modes of characterization. Right. The direct presentation, or what we call telling. Telling. Right. And we have also, on the other hand, showing. Showing. In telling number one, okay, we have that kind of expository and explanatory presentation of characters, clear, of characters which are explained and described by the narrator, okay, directly. They are described and depicted by the narrator directly. Alright, that's why it's called either telling or direct presentation, clear. On the other hand, we have the second mode, which is indirect presentation, right, or dramatic presentation, or also it's called showing. It's called showing. In this mode, of course, we have that kind of indirect presentation of characters through either their actions. For example, we learn that this character is, I don't know, is violent through his way of acting in the story. Okay, for example, he always shouts, he always involves himself in violent actions. Right, he is aggressive. So these actions of him, when he beats others, hits others, clear, inform us that this person is okay, is aggressive, is violent, clear. Right. Actions, whether through his speech, way of speaking, or also behavior, clear, or also behavior. Alright, it's number one. Second one, inside showing, is how, okay, other characters, or what, okay, what other characters say about him. Say about him. Alright, say about him. So these are the two modes of characterization. As you see here, we have direct presentation of characters through depiction directly, and we have the indirect one, dramatic one, or showing through presenting him through his actions, speech or behavior, also through what other actors say about him. Here it is, first one, direct presentation. Go. It is concerning types of characterization or modes of characterization. Okay. Now let's go back to our first element, which is characters. Characters, as you know, in any story, okay, there are characters who steer, okay, the course of the action in this story, who, mobilizes, right, that storyline of that piece of fiction and so on. So, but there are different types of characters, okay, and usually we have two main categories of characters. We have what we call main characters, which play a central role. That's why they are called either main characters, major characters, or central characters. And we have what we call also, on the other hand, second type or category, which is minor characters, clear. Or also we can say secondary characters. Okay, so these are the two types of characters in any story, usually any story and any piece of fiction. Clear? Any piece of fiction. Now, critics also use other terms to describe both types of characters. Major characters and minor ones. Okay, they use many other terms to describe them and also to give them that, you can say, critical, right, qualities, okay, which through which we can distinguish between them in terms of roles, in terms of also action, okay, in the storyline of the story. So let's write here on the board, sorry, the two types of characters. Which are so types of characters. We have what we call major, clear, major characters, or main, or central, if you want to say, and we have minor, right, minor characters. Now, for major characters, critics also use another term to describe them. They are called also round. And sometimes also they call them dynamic. Now, if we want to compare between the two types of characters, we find that both of them, okay, are participant in the story, okay, line of the novel or of the short story or of the piece of fiction, but they differ in terms of, okay, the role they play. So the role of the main character is more important, clear, and also then the minor character's role, right, number one. Number two, it covers more time and space, clear, than the time and space minor character's role play, and also it is more, okay, influential, right, on to the plot, right, influential at the level of the plot of the story than, okay, the role of the minor characters, clear, minor characters role. But also another important feature that concerns, if you can say, the qualities themselves of these two types of characters. Now, for the major one, okay, it is an ever-changing character, okay, an evolving character, which evolves, which, or who, sorry, as a person, usually, who develops, who evolves, okay, through different events, different adventures, the different troubles, okay, of the story. That's why he grows, okay, he matures, okay, and he reaches, you can say that, for example, don't know, that level of fruition, okay, and of maturity, That's why when we say round, we mean fully developed character. Fully developed character. When we say dynamic, okay, it means it is always changing, developing, evolving character. Clear? Changing, developing, and evolving character. Now, on the other hand, minor character is described by critics as flat, also character, as static, right, and sometimes also they call it stock, stereotype, and also sometimes it's called even archetype, character, clear, character. For flat, as you know, something which is flat, it's a bit superficial, clear, superficial, one-dimensional character, okay, either always good, okay, always bad, alright, always good, always bad. For example, we have the witch in Snow White, okay, it's a flat, right. The stepmother in many stories is always evil and and ugly and so on, it's always flat. Okay, here also it's called static. Okay, it means fixed in terms of change, doesn't change at all, alright? Or it takes only a very, weak degree of change, okay, if there is any degree of course. Clear? So, flat, right, doesn't change. It has one dimension, one side, always good, always bad. Clear? Always sometimes funny in some stories or novels. For example, you find a companion of, I don't know, the major character is someone who is always funny, right, and has a sense of humor, but he never changes. That is the role that the author always gives to him from the beginning of the story till the end. That's why it is called also static. Static. Also stock, stereotype, and archetype. This one represents a particular figure, a particular quality, of a character. For example, we have the cowboy, who is always brave. We have, I don't know, the knight in the chivalry, stories, who is always noble and brave and courageous, clear and courteous. Clear. We have that same features and qualities that never change, about him. Also, we have, for example, the witch, also another type, which is always ugly and wants revenge and is envious and jealous. Okay, so all these represent those fixed, clear qualities for this type of minor character. Minor character. Alright. By contrast, or on the contrary, we have the major one is always developing, is someone which is, you can say, vulnerable to evolution, right, to growth, to maturity, and so on. Clear? So these are the different terms we can use when we want to study and analyze any story or piece of fiction, right, from the angle of its characters. We have to use these terms to show that we are really have full mastery of those terms and what they connote and denote also. Clear? Good. Also at the level of characters we have another division, which is the protagonist and its opposite, antagonist. The protagonist, as you know, is the major character, nearly synonymous, to this term. He is the one who is playing the major role in a story, or a novel or a piece of fiction. Now, on the other hand, we have the antagonist. He is the character, usually an evil sometimes, or most of the times, and we can consider him or define him more precisely by saying that he is always the character who is in struggle. He is in struggle with the protagonist. In struggle with the protagonist. Clear, we have protagonist, major character, and the antagonist is, the one who is in struggle with him. He may also play a very important role, to steer the actions of the story and to create that kind of conflict, suspense, and struggle also. Clear? And struggle also. So these are simply different terms, and different types of characters and characterizations, you should take into account whenever you want to study and analyze any literary text critically, focusing on the element of characters, which is the second element of fiction. Alright, of fiction. So, thanks so much and wish you the best.